Us and Them, an extract from Dress Your Family in Corduroy and Denim by David Sedaris. The night after Halloween, we were sitting around watching TV when the doorbell rang. Visitors were infrequent at our house, so while my father stayed behind, my mother, sisters, and I ran downstairs in a group, opening the door to discover the entire Tonke family on our front stoop. The parents looked as they always had, but the son and daughter were dressed in costumes, she as a ballerina, and he as some kind of a rodent with terry cloth ears and a tail, made from what looked to be an extension cord. It seemed they had spent the previous evening isolated at the lake and had missed the opportunity to observe Halloween. So, well, I guess we're trick-or-treating now, if that's okay, Mr. Tonke said. I attributed their behavior to the fact that they didn't have a TV, but television didn't teach you everything. Asking for candy on Halloween was called trick-or-treating, but asking for candy on November 1st was called begging, and it made people uncomfortable. This was one of the things you were supposed to learn simply by being alive, and it angered me that the Tonkes didn't understand it. Why, of course it's not too late, my mother said. Kids, why don't you run and get the candy? But the candy is gone, my sister Gretchen said. You gave it away last night. Not that candy, my mother said. The other candy. Why don't you run and go get it? You mean our candy? Lisa said. The candy that we earned. This was exactly what our mother was talking about, but she didn't want to say this in front of the Tonkes. In order to spare their feelings, she wanted them to believe that we always kept a bucket of candy lying around the house, just waiting for someone to knock on the door and ask for it. Go on, now, she said. Hurry up. My room was situated right off the foyer, and if the Tonkes had looked in that direction, they could have seen my bed and the brown paper bag marked my candy. Keep out. I didn't want them to know how much I had, and so I went into my room and shut the door behind me. Then I closed the curtains and emptied my bag onto the bed, searching for whatever was the crummiest. All my life chocolate has made me ill. I don't know if I'm allergic or what, but even the smallest amount leaves me with a blinding headache. Eventually, I learned to stay away from it, but as a child I refused to be left out. The brownies were eaten, and when the pounding began, I would blame the grape juice or my mother's cigarette smoke, or the tightness of my glasses, anything but the chocolate. My candy bars were poison, but they were brand name, and so I put them in pile number 1, which definitely would not go to the Tonkes. Out in the hallway I could hear my mother straining for something to talk about. A boat, she said. That sounds marvelous. Can you just drive it right into the water? Actually, we have a trailer, Mr. Tonke said. So what we do is back it into the lake. Oh, a trailer. What kind is it? Well, it's a boat trailer, Mr. Tonke said. Right, but is it wooden? Or, you know, I guess what I'm asking is what style trailer do you have? Behind my mother's words were 2 messages. The first and most obvious was yes, I am talking about boat trailers, but also I am dying. The second, meant only for my sisters and me, was if you do not immediately step forward with that candy, you will never again experience freedom, happiness, or the possibility of my warm embrace.